Out of California, let's say in an alternate universe, John Cena goes back on his word of retirement and goes to AEW in 2026. He signs a 2-year contract that is pretty much given the same deal he has in WWE currently, where he can come in, work some programs, and take some time off to film movies. How would you book Cena's first year with the current AEW talent? And could you see Tony Khan treating Cena like he did CM Punk with the world title? That is a very alternate universe that you have proposed here. So alternate that it hasn't even been discovered yet. If Sting is anything to go by, I think Tony Khan would treat John Cena very well and very respectfully, especially if he realizes what a gold mine Cena could be for his company. Like, Cena is one of the few guys, outside of someone like Rock, who could walk in and have an immediate, measurable impact on business. Like a needle mover, as Roman Reigns would say. And Roman would probably be another one. And given how limited Cena's schedule would be, I think it would be just squeezing in as many dream matches as Tony feels he can squeeze in. I think that's what his run would look like. I mean, Kenny Omega would have to be one. Hangman would be another. I think a Cena Hangman story could be really good, actually. MJF is the obvious one that would have to be done, and there's a story they could tell there too, with Cena being someone that MJF can say he looked up to, and he's even followed in his footsteps into Hollywood. But John's all washed now, right? He's a pathetic shell of what he used to be, and he causes Cena to question whether or not he still has it. To me, that's a very basic story you could do with those two, and the promos, I think, would be incredible. The back and forth promos with Cena and MJF. He would get that one last match with Adam Copeland. A lot of history there. Jon Moxley, I'm sure, would be an opponent that Tony would put him in the ring with. You know, some battle rapping with Max Caster would be a must at some point. I think you can get maybe a big Dynamite match out of that, at least. Have Cena dust off the Doctor of Thugonomics for one night. But that's all you're really going to get out of Cena. Outside of some TV matches, maybe some tags. I could see him and Darby tagging for a match against the Death Riders or the Callis family. Imagine John Cena and Darby Allin against Okada and Takeshita. I mean, there's some pretty cool matches that you could do with him. I don't think it's going to be a very story-heavy year. I mentioned Hangman, I mentioned MJF. I think you could tell some compelling stories there. But I think by and large, it would be Tony booking him in as many dream-type matches as he possibly can. Tavon from Baltimore. Recently, The Rock and Mark Kerr sat down for a Sports Illustrated interview with each other for the Smashing Machine movie. And towards the end of the interview, The Rock talked about some of his greatest opponents, specifically naming Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, and Booker T. Side note, I'm now convinced that Rock and Triple H are at odds with each other, given that Rock didn't name Triple H as one of his greatest opponents, and Triple H didn't mention Rock in his Hall of Fame acceptance speech. I was wondering who you think are Rock's top 5 greatest opponents. There's definitely a professional jealousy there with Triple H that he's always had for The Rock. Even before Rock went to Hollywood, there's always been this underlying tension between the two of them. Triple H is one of his greatest opponents, absolutely, even if Rock doesn't think so. For me, it's Stone Cold, number 1. I mean, that's easy. Triple H, number 2. Mankind at number 3. Although you could convince me to move him up to number 2. But the stuff with Triple H, it spanned a number of years from 98 on, and their careers really mirrored each other in a lot of ways, as far as them fighting alongside each other for the same spot. Triple H would be his greatest rival. If you include behind the scenes as well, he would be number 1. But Austin, Triple H, and Foley, those are the top 3. Nobody else really matters after that. That's the core 3. I would probably go with Kurt Angle at number 4. I thought they always worked well together. They each won a world title from each other. Same with Chris Jericho. I think Jericho won his first 2 world titles from Rock. And they had some great battles, so maybe, Angle number 4 and then Jericho number 5. William from Calgary. I was watching the Stevie Richards show and the topic of Bret Hart's 5 moves of doom came up. It got me wondering, I don't remember any wrestlers using the atomic drop move for decades. Do you know if the move got banned or why the wrestlers stopped using it? It wasn't banned. The pile driver was banned for a period of time. I kind of wish it still was. I think it's just one of those moves like the bear hug or the back body drop. You don't see too many back body drops anymore, right? They used to happen in every match where it just sort of faded into the past as one of those old school things that isn't part of new school wrestling matches anymore. And to be fair, the atomic drop is a pretty goofy move because of the way you need to sell it, right? It's better when you have someone who sells it really over the top, like Rick Rude used to do, or Kurt Hennig. Rick Rude was the best at selling the atomic drop. I could see where some people might hate it if they wanted a more serious presentation because he was very, very silly with it. But you kind of have to go all the way with it, and there was nobody better at it than him. Probably Rude and then Hennig would be number two. But then you have the inverted atomic drop, which is what Brett used to do. And I never understood how that wasn't deemed an illegal move and how you weren't disqualified for it. So it just sort of fell to the wayside. I mean, the atomic drop and the back body drop and the double axe handle off the top rope, they've basically been replaced by tope con hilos and code reds and Canadian destroyers. And 20 years from now, those moves will be replaced by something else. It's the evolution of wrestling.
Style and substance. In the GMC